We've got our Arsenal back. 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 Oh my God, Jesus Christ. So it's finished. 3, Arsenal 3, Newcastle nil. And I'm only joking when I'm singing that, by the way. One win, or should I say, 4 wins out of 5 now. Does not make any difference whatsoever. I still want Mikel Arteta out. I still don't believe we will finish any higher than 9th this season. At the end of the day, that win there has only taken us above Aston Villa, who also have 4 games in hand, let's not forget. And I'm watching certain streams, and Arsenal fans are just getting completely and utterly gassed again. But that is this fan base, an embarrassment, a joke. And yeah, we're going to get straight into the match reaction and the player ratings. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Hit me up in the comment section as well. Let me know your thoughts on the game, and let me know your player ratings as well. Big up to everybody who's watching. And yeah, like I say, 3-0 Arsenal. And fuck me, we made that hard work. First half, we came out. I thought we was playing some decent football, to be fair. Newcastle didn't look like they was really at the races. You could see the lack of quality in their team. I was quite surprised, really, with the way they set up. Andy Carroll, Wilson, and Joel Linton as well. You could see what they was trying to do. You could see that they was going to sit 10 men behind the ball, try and lump it up to Carroll and Joel Linton, and get Wilson in the game. But it never really materialised, they never really caused us any threat. It was all us in that first half. And my word, I was mad. I was really, really mad, because we had three great opportunities, and all 3 of them fell to the man you would want them to fall to, the guy who scores basically every time he gets an opportunity, or he did do last season. And Aubameyang, seriously, man, missing an open goal. An open goal. I was like, rah, is this really Aubameyang? Or is this an imposter or something? Because I was beginning to think we had this guy back. I was beginning to think that his new name was Pierre-Emerick fucking Sanogo, wasting everything. And I'm not going to lie to you, yeah, I wanted him to be brought off at half time. I genuinely did, The guy wasn't really offering us anything, and every opportunity that he got, he he was dog shit in that first half. But this is why I'm not manager of Arsenal, and this is why I'm not being paid £6 million per year like Mikel Arteta. Because, like I said, I would have brought him off at half time. If we'd have brought him off at half time, we probably wouldn't have gone on to score the first goal. And like I say, up until half time, 3 real opportunities. Poor finishing by Aubameyang. And like I say, the only thing that was really missing from that first half was a goal. We just needed to finish our dinner. And we come out in the second half, and there was a lot more of an intensity to our play. Quick 1-2 touches. I thought Emil Smith-Rowe was excellent. Bukayo Saka as well. And then, of course, you can't fault the guy. He's just missed 3 big opportunities. And then Aubameyang goes and bangs 2 in the back of the net. I thought defensively we did very well. Andy Carroll was anonymous today. He was causing us issues in the FA Cup, but he was absolutely anonymous today. And yeah, like I say, it was, in the end, a pretty easy 3 points. Let me know in the comments section, guys, what you make of the game. Because I tell you, I was ready to turn it off at half time. I'm not even joking. you know. And I was actually pretty pleased with the lineup that Mikel Arteta put out as well. Although I have got a bone to pick with him. Yeah. So we're going to get into the player ratings. Let me know your player ratings in the comments section below. Bernd Leno, he did all right. Didn't really have too much to do. His distribution was a little bit better today. You know, he's playing out from the back. But I can't really think of a save that he had to make. You know, and that's mainly down to the fact that Newcastle were just so poor. They were so poor. Um, and yeah, what can you give Bernd Leno? I don't know. You can't really rank him any higher than a 6, but not really any lower than a 5 either. Because let's be real, the guy didn't have a lot to do, so maybe a 6. Moving on to our right back, Cedric. I actually thought he was probably one of our worst players. Although I did like what he was trying to do. You know, it's amazing what happens when you play with a fullback that can actually overlap. Yeah, a guy that can actually cross a ball, although his crossing was dreadful again today. And yeah, like I say, he was probably one of our worst players on the pitch up until he set up Aubameyang's third goal. And until then, I probably would have only really given him a 5. I still think he's miles better than fucking Hecky B or Zoolander or whatever you want to call him. But I don't think it was one of his greatest performances. But then, at the end of the day, the guy's not played an awful lot of football. And, you know, it takes time. It takes time to get into the rhythm. But yeah, like I say, miles better than fucking Hecky B. So just based off the fact that he got an assist as well, you know, I thought he was not too bad, but not great. Again, I'll give him a 6. Centre back pairing, Rob Holding. Rob Holding, yeah, looked pretty solid today. But again, didn't have an awful lot to do. Newcastle were not really threatening. And you got to be real, yeah. Maybe if he was up against a Liverpool or a City, you know, maybe it would have been a different story. Newcastle didn't really get a foothold in the game, and it was quite a comfortable evening for him. But at the end of the day, you got to beat the team in front of you, and yeah, you can't really go wrong with his rating either. I would probably give him a 7. Moving on to the other centre back, David Luiz. I thought he had a very good game again. Kept Andy Carroll very quiet again, and yeah, he was probably the better of the two centre backs. He tried to make a few long passes, you know, like the long passes that he does make. A couple of them came off, some of them didn't. But you can see he's always looking to go forward with the ball when he can. And yeah, not a bad performance from him again. A 7 for me. Moving on to Kieran Tierney. Again, very good. You could see the difference that he makes in this team. Obviously, he was left out of the Crystal Palace game through an injury or some sort of muscle strain. Come straight back in today, and you can see the difference. The guy going forward is absolutely exceptional. Some of the crosses that he put in that box as well. You can't fault him. Honestly, you can't fault him. And I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Make this guy captain. Yeah, make this guy captain. He has every single quality that you need to be a captain of a football club. This is the guy. Give him the armband. Yeah, give him the armband. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. Again, I would give him I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I thought he was decent, but I'm very well. I can be very harsh with my player ratings, to be fair. And he was decent, but he wasn't my man of the match. So yeah, moving on to the midfield. First one, Granit Xhaka. Again, I thought he was not bad today. Looked to go forward wherever he could. At times, he was a bit lapsadaisious on the ball, and could have been caught out a few times. But if we're being real, he had all the time in the world in that midfield. Newcastle never really got a grip on the game, like I say, and we ran that midfield from start to finish. And at the end of the day, Thomas Partey was part of that, and so was Granit Xhaka. And yeah, like I say, he was pretty decent again today. 7 for me. Moving on to the man, the midfield general, the big boss, the guy that we have all been waiting to see. And let's be real, right? This guy has barely played for Arsenal due to injury, but you can see the quality, the difference in quality compared to him and every one of our other midfielders. What a pass with the outside of his boot to get Aubameyang down that left-hand side for Aubameyang's first goal. He just oozes class, oozes quality, and he was by far one of the best players on the pitch today. And the funny thing is, you could tell he wasn't even 100% fit because Mikel Arteta brought him off at 60 minutes. He wasn't even 100% fit, and he was our best midfielder by a mile. And yeah, you see the difference when El came on. El came on, the play slowed down. Thomas Partey oozes quality, and yeah, I can't wait to see him starting and finishing games regularly in an Arsenal shirt. And we just need somebody now who can, be top quality next to him as well. Because let's be real, Granit Xhaka is not the answer, although he has had a few decent games. Thomas Partey, I'll give him an 8. Yeah, I thought he was better than Xhaka. I thought everything that was good coming from the midfield mainly came from him. And yeah, it's just a shame he's not quite up to speed yet. But, we're easing him in, which is good. And hopefully we'll see more of him in the coming weeks. Moving on to right wing, Bukayo Saka. This guy, man, he is an absolute G. I'm not even joking. You could argue he is the best youngster in the Premier League. The only other couple of youngsters that you could probably argue would be better than him is Greenwood, Foden, maybe Martinelli as well. But this kid, since he has came into this Arsenal team, he's just been head and shoulders above everybody else. And at 19 years old, playing regular football, week in, week out for Arsenal, and putting in 7 out of 10s plus every single week, just shows what a talented player he is. He got a goal today, and yeah, it was created by the other youngster in our starting 11, finished by Saka as well. And you know what? He deserved the goal today. He was excellent as well. I'll give Saka an 8. Moving on to the number 10. Brilliant. Absolutely exceptional today. He recognised, like I've been saying for a few weeks now, he recognises that if you move this ball quickly, if you move it with 1 or 2 touches, Newcastle and these teams that sit deep cannot live with that, you know. And everything came through Emil Smith Rowe. And he was exceptional again today. He had a bit of an off game against Crystal Palace, but today, exceptional. And for me, he was man of the match. I give the kid a 9, and we want to see this on a regular from him because, he's another talent that is looking like, if he continues on like this, he could possibly reach his full potential. He could be a top player as well, and a very important player in this Arsenal team. So like I say, 9 for me today. Man of the match, hands down. Moving on to the left wing. And we go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, or should I say, in the first half, like I said, I thought it was Pierre-Emerick Sanogo, because my guy, mate, seriously, 3 big chances, 3, and normally this guy puts them chances away in his sleep, but in that first half, he couldn't finish a wank, man. I don't know what it is, or I don't know what it was, but he was so poor in that first half. And then second half, it just switched. It was like we got our striker back, we got our goal scorer back. It was mad, really. It was mad because, like I say, I was ready to. If I was the manager, mate, I would have tore him off at half time. I'd have been like, bruv, go and do a bench next to William, because this ain't good enough. £375,000 per week, yeah. But lo and behold, he gets 2 chances, 2 opportunities in the second half, and he bangs them away. His first goal, was all him, like I said, the ball for Thomas Partey to get him in the first place, 1-on-1. But that finish was all Aubameyang. And then, of course, the second goal, it was a tap-in, But at the end of the day, you have to be in the right place at the right time. And he always is, And hopefully this will give him the confidence to go on and score many more goals this season, because we need it. We really desperately need it. I'll give Aubameyang an 8, purely and simply because of his 2 goals. I wasn't best pleased with him and Granit Xhaka in the first half, actually, come to think of it, because they just stood off Almiron and let him cross the ball in. Yeah, I know it came to nothing, but you can't stand off a player like that and just let him have all the time in the world to cross the ball in. You can imagine what would have happened if that had ended up being a Newcastle goal. Got to work harder. Got to work a lot harder. And like I say, hopefully this will get his confidence up and he continued the scoring run. Moving on to Alexander Lacazette. First half, absolutely anonymous. I don't know who was worse, him or Aubameyang. Especially when you think of the fact that you expect an awful lot from the 2 of them. But Lacazette, he's been scoring this season. His confidence is high. In that first half, anonymous, absolutely dross. Yeah. Second half, when the game opened up a little bit, is when he came into the play. And his hold-up play, very good. His link-in play, very good. But this guy's got to work harder to get in the game from the very beginning. Yeah, the very first minute. And like I say, he was probably alongside maybe Cedric, our worst player today. And I'd give him a 6. Of course, we've got to rate the manager. And I'm going to give Mikel Arteta a I'm going to give him a 7. No, I'm not. I'm going to give him an 8. Right? But I do have one bone to pick with you, Mikel Arteta. You came out before the game kicked off and you was talking about Nicolas Pepe, right? Nicolas Pepe, we need to help Nicolas Pepe. In order to help Nicolas Pepe, we need to give him more time, more minutes, more opportunities, right? You choose not to play him in the starting 11. Fine, fair enough. I get that, yeah? Because the guy hasn't done enough in the games that he has played to warrant starting in this team, especially when you consider how Saka's been playing, how Martinelli's been playing, right? But when the game's done and dusted and it's won, why is fucking clown Chelsea agent Willian being brought on ahead of Pepe? We're winning 3-0. The game is done and dusted. We've got a £72 million player. Well, I don't think he's a £72 million player, but we spent £72 million on a player who is also lacking confidence. So bring him on. See if you can get him a goal. See if you can get his confidence up. Not this fucking fraud who's came here for a payday. Sort it out, Arteta. Because these little things will cost you your job. It's as simple as that. Your management skills is dog shit. And that is why this football club is not going anywhere. I'm going to get into a couple of comments. I would rate the substitutions, but I think for me, El Neni, he probably had the most amount of time on the pitch, but he showed what he is as a player, which is, bang average. And that's what his performance was. Bang average. 5. Then, of course, you got wherever he is, Martinelli. Martinelli came on. Didn't have long, 5 minutes or so. Didn't have an opportunity to do anything. So, again, you can't give him anything higher than a 5. And then, of course, wherever he is, there he is, the Chelsea agent, the clown. He came on. He had a free kick on the edge of the box, hit it straight at the wall. Dog shit footballer, tear his contract up. But again, can't give him any more than a 5. Can't really give him any less than a 5. Dog shit. I'm going to get into a couple of comments. So, here we go. We have got Prospero says, we are too reactionary as fans. Newcastle played whack football. They sure did, mate. But the fan base is going mad, singing, we've got our Arsenal back. And, apparently we're going to go on to win the Europa League now. I don't think half these fans have even checked the league table. Yeah, we're 10th. Yeah, we're only 10th because Aston Villa have got 4 games in hand over us. We're still miles off. Just because we've won 4 out of our last 5 games in all competitions doesn't mean we've turned a corner. Look at the team that we beat. Look at the teams that we've beaten. Yeah, Brighton, West Brom, Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle again. And then the only surprising one in there is Chelsea. But at the end of the day, Chelsea have fallen off a cliff in recent weeks. Let's see how we do over the next couple of weeks, because we've got some tough fixtures coming up. And we could quite easily end up back in that relegation fight again. Nippon says, I'm thinking about doing a podcast called Football for Thought. Would you like to represent Arsenal? Yeah, I'll jump on, mate, 100%. Let me know when it is and sort it out. And yeah, send us the link or follow us on Twitter, send us the link. And yeah, of course, I'll jump on, mate. Of course. Solomon, I'm assuming this is for Leno. Gives Leno a 6. I agree with that. Prospero, Leno a 7. Fair enough. Nippon, Leno an 8. I'm not sure about an 8, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not like he really had an awful lot to do. You can't really give him higher than a 6, I don't think, Maybe if he had a few saves to make or something, but he didn't, and that was because, mainly because Newcastle were poor, very poor. Prospero gives 7, Cedric a 7. Solomon, mate, you're harsh. Gives Cedric a 5. Relentless Football Talk in the chat. How you doing, brother? Big up to you. Prospero gives Rob Holding a 6. Solomon gives Rob Holding a 6. Louise a 7. Tierney an 8. 8.5. 7 for Jacques. Devin in the chat. Good to see you in here. Great result today. Aubameyang man of the match for me. 7 points off 4th now. Party was a beast. Yeah, let's not look at that 7 points off 4th. Yeah, because it can change within the flip of a coin. I'm telling you now, we have not turned a corner. We have not turned a corner. Yeah, if in a couple of weeks, we have this conversation again, and we've won our next 3 games, let's say, then yeah, maybe you can say we've turned a corner. But we've got some tough fixtures coming up, I'm telling you. And it can quite easily change. I'm telling you that now. Aubameyang man of the match. Yeah, you could put Aubameyang up there as man of the match. For me, it was Emil Smith-Rowe, purely and simply because the kid, was absolute class, and Aubameyang was dog shit in the first half. 8 for Party, 8 for Party. Party's worth between 60 and 70 million, in my opinion. Great job getting him for 45. Yeah, he is. I would agree with you there. A 60 to 70 million pound player, and yeah, it's about time we invested into proper players rather than fucking bottle job wankers. So yeah, I agree with you, Devin. The vision, the pass, the accuracy was majestic. Yeah, I agree with you, Suleiman. Saka an 8. Maybe Greenwood, no chance. I don't know. Greenwood isn't. You look at Greenwood's scoring record and that for Manchester United. You got to put him up there. You've got to put him up there. But no, I believe that Saka is easily one of the best youngsters in the Premier League, and I believe that he could also go on to be a world-class footballer if we use him correctly, and if we don't overplay him and basically just put shit around him, 9 for Smith Rowe, 8 for Smith Rowe. Fair enough. Is that a 6 and not a 6.5 for Smith Rowe, surely? Or is that Bamio? We should have won this game 6-0 minimum. Yeah, I agree. We had a lot of chances, but at the end of the day, 3 points is what matters. We scored 3 goals. Our talisman of the past 2 seasons, who's been underperforming, hasn't been scoring goals, got 2 of the goals, and hopefully that will bring him a bit more confidence, and we can see him score a bit more throughout the next few weeks. Lacazette a 7, 8. Fully agreed. Solomon says I'd sell Pepe, Xhaka, Willian, send Ceballos back to Madrid, sell El Neni, Willock, and Nketiah, Reece Nelson, and buy Jack Grealish. I agree with you 100%. Nicholas Pepe, I'd sell him as well. Xhaka, Willian, tear his contract up. Ceballos has not been good enough. Send him back to Madrid all day long. El Neni, Willock as well, and Nketiah, Reece Nelson, and go and get Jack Grealish. Yeah, 100%. And he also says, defence-wise, I'd sell Hecky B, Cedric, Louise, Holding, Kolasinac, and get Saliba back and buy Vestergaard. Okay, fair enough. I would probably keep Cedric, but Cedric would be a backup for me. I would probably also keep Holding as well, but again, he would be a backup. I'd get Saliba back. I'd get in another defender. I don't know who that would be. I'd go and get a right back. Obviously, Tariq Lamptey has signed a new deal at Brighton, so the obvious one that I would go for would be Max Aarons from Norwich. As regards to midfield, I would go and get Bissouma and Jack Grealish in the summer. I would probably look at replacing Pepe as well, and getting a backup to Saka. But aside from that, I think we've got a half decent squad. We just need to get rid of the deadwood, get rid of the shit, and and invest sensibly and in a correct way in order to move this football club forward. And if we can get rid of the manager and get somebody else in, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yes, Max Aarons. I think he's a decent player, and I think he'd do very well at Arsenal. I thought he was probably one of Norwich's best players when they played in the Premier League. I think it was last season before, and I think he would do very well in a better team. He overlaps fullback. He overlaps wingers. He can cross a ball. He's a young man as well. He's also had a lot of interest from the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich. So why not? He's not going to break the bank, so I'd definitely go and do that. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. That is my match reaction. Big up to everybody who's been watching. Big up to everybody in the comment section. And of course, if you have not already, please smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And I will be back again. I'll probably be back again and do some sort of, I don't know, Premier League weekend review, or where we review all the games. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comment section what content you would like to see from me, and I'll try to the best of my ability to do it. But big up yourselves. 3-0 Arsenal. Finally. A win. A decent win as well.